It's happening. We are live. Everybody, make sure to unmute. Oh, actually, before I forget and we go 10 minutes into the Decentraland stream, I am going to unmute the desktop and mic audio for that as well so people can hear. But all right. Yes, I think we are live. Oscom, Roustan, Mariana, Tangpoko, Canessa. How is it going today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I think it's afternoon for me. I guess I don't know where everybody's located. For Oscom,
it's 7 p.m. for me.
I was gonna say for Oscom, I feel like it's already always like 1 a.m, like for some reason.
Yeah, but there's no time for GMs, you know. It's always GM time.
That's true. That is true. Well, I hope everybody's excited for today's round of judge voting. We've got an awesome panel here today. I think everybody knows myself, Oscom, Mariana, and Tangpoko, but we do have two new people on today, which is Roustan, repping that awesome. I'm literally blank. Clonex. I don't know. I haven't bought an NFT in so long. I'm not even kidding. I went through such an NFT phase, and now I just haven't looked at them in like months. But awesome Clonex face, both on stream and in Decentraland. Roustan, want to give a little bit of an introduction? Tell us about yourself and what you've been up to in Decentraland.
Hi, yeah. I just wanted to try out this Clonex thing, even though I'm fully doxxed. You know, I've never done this before, so I thought it'd be cool. And they released like an update yesterday, and so this is my clone that I want from Decentraland. Yeah, I'm Paul Roustan. I'm a body painter. I paint on people and then I photograph them. And I brought my work into Web3 with NFTs in the Metaverse, and so I'm happy to be here. I've explored Builder and SDK and Blender over the past year, and so hopefully I'm qualified enough to judge some of these awesome pieces.
I feel like on one of our streams we actually visited your place, your little your sanctuary. Not little, actually, quite large sanctuary. And I feel like it was either this competition or the next competition. No, it must have been this one. I feel like somebody might have taken some inspiration from that. I felt some like sanctuary vibes going on in some of
these.
Maybe
that would be cool. I'd love to inspire if that's the case.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know, love you've got wearables out, you've got your own build, host your own events, have your own NFT line, one of freaking Clonex, which is lit.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then do in real life body painting and art. I guess just quick question, how has making those NFTs impacted like what you do on a regular basis? You know, is it because either way you have to do stuff in real life, right? But now you also have to record that, and then you have to turn it into NFTs, and then you create these other experiences and wearables around it. So just curious kind of like what that's been like.
It's made everything way easier, way more efficient, made way more convenient for me. I like all the stuff that I do now, I've always been doing for the past, I've been body painting for 17 years. I've been hardcore on YouTube since like 2012, something like that. And so I was always producing content. So when Web3 came around and it came time to make NFTs, like I had it all on my hard drive, and it just came time to upload it to the blockchain. And then learning wearables and coding for scene builds was just like great. I'm too old to learn something new, but this is kind of very, very necessary. And so I walked through the fire and figured it out, and I've just been having fun the whole time.
I love it. And I love that avatar. I'm pretty sure you winked at me a couple of times. I don't know if that was meant for me, but yeah, wink, wink. But awesome. Great to have you on here, Roustan. And I'm positive that you are qualified to be a solid judge here. Canessa, want to give us a quick introduction and overview, and what have you been involved in Decentraland, or anything special that you're working on or have coming up?
Yeah, thank you. Good morning. Thanks for having me here. I came to DCL in 2019, and it was actually the builder contest that brought me in. Decentraland was trying to get people to use the builder and kind of motivated about putting stuff in Decentraland. And so they had a kind of a similar contest where you would just, make a scene and submit it. And like grand prize was 200,000 mana and 8 parcels of land. And so it was kind of like a really crazy amount of mana that they were giving away back then. And I was one of the winners of that and got a parcel of land. And I think I got like 1,200 mana or something. So yeah, like I understand what it means to put your heart and soul into your submission. And there's probably always like little details that people put in and, that they know are there. But maybe it's hard to like translate that through to the judges. Since then, I've enjoyed building on my own land, kind of trying to learn parts of the SDK, getting excited about learning emotes and hosting Decentraland community building with Sinful every Wednesday. And that kind of keeps me busy, and being a baby doll with Tangpoko, lots of stuff going on.
Sorry, was muted. If anybody listening on, and I see we have RizKGH or RizGJ as I call them, and we have Erica Gloom in chat. What is up? How's it going? But for anybody on that isn't aware, tomorrow on Wednesdays, Canessa and Sinful Meat Stick host probably the most attended Decentraland community building Twitter spaces that there is. It's always quite lively. I will say we had some great debate that resulted in a couple of room mutes last week, but it was awesome. And sometimes they last for hours. So whatever you guys are doing over there, like I hop on and then it's like 5 hours go by and I'm like, well, I guess my work day's over. So
yeah, Wednesdays that's my DGen day. I just that's all I do.
But everybody check that out, and maybe Canessa, if you could send a link to that, maybe to Slaterade, maybe you can pop it in the comments in case anybody wants to set a reminder. But awesome. Yeah, thanks for the introduction. I guess Tangpoko, anything new going on with baby dolls with you?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you again for having me here today. And it is awesome to see my good friends, Roustan and Canessa today. So yay.
I did not hear you say DCLcurations.
Well,
or Mariana, what's going on?
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm used to you guys. I'm just trying to be nice to the new people, okay?
They don't care about us anymore, creations.
What's new with us? Well, we have a Scorpio party tomorrow, which is pretty exciting at Dollhouse. Sultry Dubs will be there, so that will be cool. But I think the newest thing is that I actually submitted my first proposal to the DAO yesterday. So that's really exciting. If anybody has a chance to go and vote on my proposal, please do.
Yes, awesome. I haven't even seen that. You might have to link that to me. I'll go check it out. But proposals and DAO, good. And Tangpoko baby dolls, good. So I don't know. Just from what I've heard so far, I'm liking it. But that's awesome. I will definitely check that out.
Thank you.
Mariana, what have you been up to?
Well, good question. What have I been up to? The last few weeks, actually, I've been working with Crystal City to get them launched. So they're like a new district in Decentraland. So I've just been helping them, Diverge, Render Zone, pretty much just get all launched up. So that's pretty much what I've been really, if you really want to know what I've been up to, like that's pretty much the newest thing. But other than that, I've been kind of just like low key lately, just, putting my head down into some programming that I'm learning at the moment. So, yeah.
Okay, first off, where is Crystal City? Because I don't think I've heard of that.
Negative 154.
Negative 154.
So, if you walk 6 parcels to the east, you can get there from Wonder Zone. But yeah, they just had like this big launch party last Monday. We had like the DJ tracks there, so it's actually really fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I actually I went to Wonder Zone for the first time and in kind of a while, and they have a new building there. It actually like looked like something I wanted to explore again, which was awesome. Awesome seeing the updates that they're coming up with. It seems like they're doing some big things. Are they part of Crystal City, or just so happens to be located near Crystal City?
So the owners of Wonder Zone also own Crystal City, so it's like their sister district, if you will. So they plan to have some cross district events in the future. So yeah,
That's cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So other than that, no, just doing me.
Just doing you. It's awesome. I love it. I do see I'm standing. Everybody's got some awesome wearables on right now. And Marianne, I see you got a new fit. I love the phone that you've got in your hand. This almost reminds me of
Canessa.
is that Canessa's phone?
Canessa gifted it to me.
Yeah, it's not my phone, but I made an emote, and I wanted a phone in my hand because like I made this beer drinking emote, and it didn't have a beer in your hand. It was just like basically drinking air beer. And then Roustan was like, no, I can make you a beer real quick. So like in a day he makes a can of beer. And so then I just kind of started making emotes based on like wearables in the marketplace. And so I was like, I need a phone, but I can't make a phone. I don't know how to do Blender well enough. So I just looked in the marketplace, found somebody else that had made a phone. So this the person that has made that, they've gotten like a bunch of sales all of a sudden out of the blue for that, and also their bong. So it's kind of a cool way to bring new life to like old wearables that aren't getting a lot of eyes on them.
I love that. So for Sandstorm, we did a stream last week and we talked about like emote creation. And as always, I had to show Endomax video that they had put out because it's just totally awesome. And I was talking a lot about kind of how you can utilize wearables and emotes to create these kind of new experiences. And this Thursday, I actually have another stream, a builder stream. So I might need to get maybe you or Roustan on there. And I think we want to cover wearables. So that would be really cool if we could go over kind of your thought process and the modeling and then the emote creation to develop these certain experiences.
Yeah, man. Anything you need.
Anything?
Anything. Anything.
I will actually hit you up about that after this. I think that would be really dope. But last but not least, Oscom, how is it going?
Hey man, yeah, going good. I mean, I think Sandstorm, there's always like 100 things going on. So today we announced a new proposal with Goblin Town NFT, so that's super exciting to get to know their team and to just chat with them. So that's cool. So if you're a builder, that's like sandbox related, but if you're a builder and you want to build for them, do some cool avatars, have fun with their branding, I mean, that's like a super cool opportunity. So what has been announced this week? I think, so we have 2 big metaverses in the pipeline that we'll announce partnerships with very shortly. And that's super, super nice. I think one might even come out today. So keep tuned. Else, what's been happening? I don't remember too many things. Big shout out to Risk because I've been working on one proposal, on a Decentraland and Sandbox proposal where there are 2 different builders, one that's building in Sandbox, one that's building in Decentraland from one brand. So that's pretty exciting. He's been doing a great job with a little library scene on like 1 or 2 parcels. So big shout out to him, and excited to show this to the world very soon.
Did you say that's a DCL library scene or?
Yeah, exactly. So essentially, it's for Deadheads, and actually, Deadheads, they have made an entire animated series on YouTube, and so we recreated one of the scenes in the animated series in Decentraland and in Sandbox, as a little thing, and it really looks super cool.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
I believe there was it Dead? I think it was Deadheads. I believe I know the NFT collection Deadheads. I think it's a pretty big one in Decentraland, and I feel like they had a Halloween party last year or something.
Oh, you think? I don't remember. It might be. I don't know. Honestly, I
It was
forget
Dead
some of the
followed by something.
Dead Fellas. You're thinking Dead Fellas.
Fellas.
No, it was not Dead
Damn.
Fellas.
Darn.
But yeah, just very fun. A lot of stuff going on. It's cool. And actually, starting tomorrow, I'll be in Amsterdam, and I'll be at BlenderCon, which is exciting. I'll be there with Game Dizzy, which is our CTO in Sandstorm. We'll be there at the stands and just chat with 3D artists and creators, show them all the different virtual worlds where we are at, show Decentraland, Sandbox, Immersed, TCG World, or for current partners, the 2 next partners, and just show all these builders that they can get to work in the metaverse and get job opportunities. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's my agenda for this week.
It sounds like a pretty fun agenda. Risk wants to make sure you get some weed while you're in Amsterdam.
No, I don't do that. Unfortunately, I don't do that.
But yeah, so I know.
But I can tell you that Slatered was very mad because he wanted to be in Amsterdam because of that reason.
I know we've got a couple of Decentraland builders that are based out of Netherlands near Amsterdam. So if anybody is listening in and is in Europe and has some free time, BlenderCon is going on this week.
So yeah, I fear the venue might be sold out, so I'm not 100% sure, but I fear that's the case. So, but just if you want to meet us, I mean, just DM me and we can meet in Amsterdam.
World's biggest fear, going to a sold out event and presenting.
How about you? Have you been doing progress on your library, on your
yes
education thing?
Yes, you can't see it above us in Decentraland because we're using a black boxed experience, and we haven't deployed it yet because we're still working on it. So 2 reasons why. But our first 1 month update was due, I think, last Thursday, and then this Thursday we have the Decentraland Town Hall. So we'll be putting together a little short video and kind of in the, like, since we're educators and we're trying to develop this virtual library and do a lot of coverage for all these groups in DCL, I figured we would just kind of show our decision-making process for some of the things. Like, originally we were going to expand upon the library in the initial curation station and expand the top floor and develop the experience there, but you ran into limitations with try counts and functionality for different users. So there's a bunch of different things that we've been toying around with to make sure the experience actually works. And going to be putting a video together and showcasing that on the town hall on Thursday. So Canessa and Sinful Wednesday, Decentraland Town Hall Thursday. But outside of that, I've been spending a lot of time moving and driving, and it's been very, very annoying. So I'm very excited.
What are you listening to in the car? Are you listening to podcasts? Or?
My gosh, I listen to the radio. I know, and it, like, I constantly have to change stations because, like, it starts going, cutting between stations, and then I start hearing like news channels mixed with my like ABBA that's playing in the background. I don't know why I chose ABBA for that statement, but yeah. So I listen to the radio, but I do love podcasts. There's a Metaverse podcast that's out that's pretty good, and
really?
Actually. Yeah, I think it's called like Into the Metaverse actually, and it's pretty good.
Cool.
So I need to put some more of those on my list. But
Canessa, maybe that's a good question for you. Are you planning on putting those town halls on Spotify or something? Like on as a form of podcast?
The community building spaces. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Sinful actually has them on his Twitch and on YouTube, so they're all recorded because Twitter, gets rid of them after a certain amount of time. So yeah, Sinful Meat Sticks on Twitch and then on YouTube as well. I think it might be Sinful Media on YouTube, but yeah, except for the first one that I didn't record, and then the few times that we got rugged, they should all be archived for future listening pleasure. If you don't mind spending 5 hours listening. Bring your popcorn.
Yeah, you guys are super patient with these ones. I have to say, it's super. It's a nice effort. Yeah. So, would you want to introduce the today's theme? DCLcurations?
Yeah. So today's theme is the creative process in Decentraland. Metaverse Pod I listen to every week, says the Gold Guide. One up. What is up, the Gold Guy? Also, Lord Canwolf and Juke I see in chat. What is up? Is that the? Are you saying that's into the metaverse is what you listen to, or is there? If you have a title for the Metaverse Pod, oh, is it called the Metaverse Pod? Okay, it might be called the Metaverse Pod. But our topic of discussion today for our judges is the creative process in Decentraland. And I know, Roustan, you are quite the creative individual here in Decentraland and in real life. So I guess, would you want to walk us through your creative process? Like, for example, your body painted wearable. Like, how did you come up with that design for your wearable?
Well, it was funny. I think we all enter the space and we have to like shed what we know a little bit. And when I first started exploring wearables, the first thing I tried to make was a t-shirt, and I finished it and I was like, wait, why did I make a t-shirt when I could make anything I can imagine for the same submission fee? Like this in the real world, like you make t-shirts because it's cheap to produce, you know? And so that was when I was like, I need to make a body painting, of course. Like, why would I make a t-shirt when I'm trying to promote my own brand? And so I dove into creating a body paint wearable, and really like my creative process is usually an idea and then trying to bring it to fruition. And that body paint wearable was so hard. It was like so freaking hard. It took like 3 months to get approved. And, because I didn't know anything about Blender at all. And so I just attacked it in the easiest way that I could, even though it was incredibly hard. And I said, I'm just going to make this one color. And I think things that glow are just the coolest thing in Decentraland. So I wanted to make glowing body paint. And so that was the task at hand.
Yes, I always say people in Decentraland are like raccoons and they love shiny things. The more glow, the better. So that's interesting. So you actually develop, because I think I only have one wearable line out actually. And while I could create wearables now, I still happen to outsource them almost every time. But you actually created it from scratch. So you wanted to do a wearable and you learned Blender for making this wearable, and then you stayed with it for 3 months trying to get it approved?
Yeah. I mean, my whole career, I've been an artist pretty much my whole life, and like my whole career, I've operated on shoestring budgets, and I could never really afford to hire people to do things for me. So I'm just conditioned to figure it out on my own and make it happen. With the body paint wearable, one of the biggest issues was the weight painting, and I could not wrap my head around that. No matter how many tutorials I watched, it was so confusing. And so I ended up reluctantly paying somebody who understood weight painting a little bit better to help me with that. But still, we went back and forth with the reviewer, the curator, probably like 10 times at least until we got it right. And it's like, what's crazy is like I can fix it now easily. Eventually, I hung out in a chat, got some help from Kirzos, who I think we all know, and she showed me weight painting, and like she showed me in a way that I could understand it, and it took like 5 minutes, and since then now I can do it.
So it sounds like we definitely need to have you on the Thursday stream if you're available. Going through those trials and tribulations, I feel like also makes you just such a better teacher. You're like, I know exactly what to tell you, like not to fuck this up.
Yeah.
I see Mariana is having a good laugh at your Clonex sad face. It's just like, yeah, man, like when I was doing these wearables. But
Sorry, that's all I was like paying attention to.
It was very hard back then,
It was walked uphill both ways to get to Blender class.
Yeah.
So what were your biggest challenges, Canessa, when you started with building in the metaverse?
I think just understanding the builder, it was literally when the builder tool just came out. It was March of 2019 going into April of 2019. And so, nobody knew, like there wasn't somebody to ask questions because they've been doing it for 5 months. Like everybody was starting from zero. And it wasn't the same builder that we see today. You couldn't resize objects. The triangle limitations, like just the word triangle kind of sets me off because you just run out of triangles so fast because you couldn't resize things. And so I think just learning like that software, like how to move stuff around without having any resources to go to help, to ask. That was a challenge, but it was also like beautiful and clean because then you figured it out on your own, and then you made like, I don't know, these happy accidents like work for you. And so it was pretty fun.
I think it's so interesting. And in our current situation, I mean, we've been working with a new metaverse that's TCG World, similar thing. They have their own guidelines, they have their own production things. And just being able to create this kind of production guidebook that's really clear and that educates builders on how to build can make something that's really hard and takes like 10 to 20 hours to learn in like a 1 hour process. It's crazy how terminology and just working on this ease of use in those worlds is super, super important for these kind of things. How about you, Tang? What were your biggest challenges when you started?
Well, I think in my case, it's a little bit different because I'm working with a team and I'm doing a lot of my builds for clients. So I think if we're going to talk about challenges, it's listening to a client explain what they want and trying to line that up with the technical restrictions and limitations that we have inside Decentraland. But it gets better and better as Decentraland gets more and more popular, and we're able to bring clients in and show them builds that we've already made and show them what the capabilities are, what the possibilities are in Decentraland, and then talk about how their goals can line up with what we can give them.
I feel like that can be complex, especially here.
Yeah.
Interesting though, Tang, I guess, like, have any creator or has any client come to you and wanted to do something and then decided on another metaverse?
No.
Always DCL?
Yes.
Love to hear it.
That would just be foolish.
That would be foolish.
I will say that now that I'm exploring other metaverses, I'm often trying to talk to them about doing sort of hybrid events and hybrid builds where you have kind of like your headquarters in Decentraland, but you have these offshoots in other metaverses as well. You have portals that you can go back and forth because I do think that there's different needs, different metaverses for different needs.
I really think it's not the same use cases because so there is not like a global metaverse that does everything right now. It's more like different types of products focused on like one tech layer. And this is why I think, this kind of situation that you described, DCLcurations doesn't really happen at the moment, because when the client wants something, they have a clear picture in mind of what they want. And so, you go through this advising process or consulting or whatever, you tell them, okay, these are the options, but it's pretty clear. If you go to Decentraland, you have this option. If you go to Sandbox, you have this option. If you go to Immerse, you have this option, but it's very different. Some are more gaming related, some are more social, some are more events based, some are more work related. It's like just really different kind of eras of focus that these metaverses have. And so I think now it's more like metaverse as a product rather than in one specific utility and use case, rather than like this global kind of vision that's what happened long term. So yeah, I think that's just my personal perspective. Maybe on top of the creative process, because we talked about creators, but I also think I'm interested because when I got offered the role of being a project manager for Sandstorm in July, I didn't really know what I was jumping into. I just knew, okay, approximately how a build would work and how that would function to work with artists. And then the day after my my CEO Steve offered me this, I went to a meeting with other studios that were building in Sandbox, and then somebody went up to me, and she was like complaining about how hard the role of a project manager in such a build project is in the metaverse. And it was literally the first encounter where I was like, okay, I just got this job. Is this really the hardest thing to do? And it's interesting because I think I've been working with over 50 different creators now within like 2 or 3 months, and it's interesting to see all the different workflows. So I would be interested in seeing more on this side. DCLcurations, if you want to start, what was your experience in terms of workflow? What were the difficulties? Be it communication, be it processes. What's your point of view on this?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's interesting because a lot of stuff has to do with bandwidth. Like talking about specifically within Decentraland, like for my own grant, for example, there were a lot of people that I talked to for the potential backend and SDK role, and I was initially looking to get 1 or 2 people to fill that slot, and had the other team members, already assembled, but I couldn't move forward with a proposal or the ideas unless I had the SDK and the coding team. And so like lining up the resources so that you have the proper availability is kind of key, especially if clients want to do like a rushed timeline. Well, you might need the graphic designs first, or you might be able to kind of set up the weeks where, hey, I can have a group available for this 2-week time period, and I can have these groups available with a certain level of overlap. So I guess sourcing and managing resources and bandwidth is probably one of the toughest issues, outside of also explaining to them what the metaverse and blockchain is. Because oftentimes they're like, I've heard of this, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, that's I guess one of the things I would find difficult. But Mariana, what do you think about, or I guess what is your creative process or some issues you've had, especially with the Crystal City expansion?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm not as like seasoned as like maybe like my other fellow colleagues here in terms of building, but I guess like now I've been more focusing on figuring out how to like break SDK, work on my Beavers build. But in terms of like kind of like Crystal City, working with the team, we had these kind of situations where we're like, okay, first of all, this parcel is huge. Let's try to figure out how we can either like there's some like SDK limit. Not I want to say SDK limitations, but like how I don't even have to like describe it, to be honest. But yeah, I would
it's
just
like
say
the phase where this thing is fucking blank, right? And then you gotta figure out what to do in this. I think that's it's a really cool kind of stage where you kind of need to come up with the idea, fill out the space, fill out with the designs. It really like comes down to having a lot of structure. I think. What do you think, Mariana?
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. And just trying to think, how can we make this a better experience from like a coding side? Like we were going to, actually before the event, we were going to make like a huge crystal game where you have to like find like 20 crystals all over the parcel, but we're like, this is kind of big. It might take people some time. It might like discourage people more than encourage them.
How many parcels are you building on, just out of curiosity?
The Crystal City is 279 parcels.
279?
Yes. So I'm like, I don't know, guys. It might be a long, it might be a long crystal hunt.
That's
looking for gold here.
That is a big location. That is bigger than I expect. Oh, I see it now. It's on the map. I'm looking at it. It's got a POI. I didn't even notice that. Okay, interesting. If anybody wants to check out Crystal City, it looks like the POI is at -960, but that is awesome. So the district is kind of just right across the street from Wondermap.
Yeah, wasn't kidding.
Look at that.
But yeah.
How is it for you, Roustan or Roustan? I don't know if you're still doing everything yourself. But maybe for you, was it like difficult to give a part of your responsibilities and your work to somebody else? I know that's something that's really difficult for creators that are really independent.
No,
So-
I still do everything myself, but I mean, there's collaborations that I've had usually involve just like whether it's like a DJ setup or like borrowing someone's land or like um, I once offered to create a wearable for someone, and actually DCLcurations is rocking it right now. It's the rad jacket.
Oh yeah.
And
I
like
haven't
that-
taken it off since I put it on. Fucking love that jacket.
like that was originally supposed to be a gift for somebody, and it was like a group of 3 people, and one of the people was just didn't understand Decentraland, didn't understand wearables, and was kind of being like a negative Nancy about it. So and when I finished making it, I was like, you know what, I kind of like this jacket for me. I don't want to give this one to somebody. So I was like, you know what, guys, since you're not really ready for this, let me keep this one. I'll make you something else later when you're ready. And so I put it out there. But usually when I collaborate with people, I get slowed down, and I work really, really fast, and I don't like waiting. I'm very impatient, and so like my excitement about things kind of wane a little bit, and so I don't really put myself in those situations very often. You know, I create like Canessa said about the can of beer. It was like very spontaneous. You know, she created the cheers emote, and then I was like, it'd be cool to have a can of beer. Do you have the beer? And she's like, no. And then I was like, I'll make it for you real quick. Let's do this. You know, it's like, if I thought about it for a day or two, I'd be over it and wouldn't want to do it. So
I feel that. I'm just also shocked to hear you don't DJ your own events. You know.
I did try like 2 times, actually 2 or 3 times.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I mean, I don't have like a DJ setup or anything, and I don't have the right programs. So I was just literally cutting music together using Final Cut, using whatever I had. And, you know, it was fun, but like, I'm not a great DJ. So that's like something that I would love to do it, but I just don't have a lot of time right now to get on top of that. I told my wife, I think I want to learn DJing a little bit. And she kind of looked at me like I was crazy. So I didn't do it.
Add it to the list of tasks that you can do, Roustan.
I would attend your DJ set. I would. And Slaterade, you asked how big is the curation station? This is on 16 parcels. So Mariana is currently developing something 20 times the size of this, roughly, something around that. Maybe not quite 20, 15x the size. Big. Much bigger. That's quite the try count limitation you'll have too. But that's like a 2.7 million try count limitation. That's pretty
crazy.
Nuts.
Any remaining thoughts, Tang and Canessa, on this specific topic? And I think after that we can go to the results.
I just think it's wonderful to see like how everybody translates or like communicates their own dreams and like vision into the scenes. So I'm sure like Mariana, what you're doing, you know, I bet it's going to be amazing, and it's going to be so cool. Like you could give 10 different people that same assignment and you'd have 10 different interpretations of like what Crystal City would look like. So yeah, I just love that. I love that, you know, whether it's like building in the SDK or with the builder or making wearables or making emotes, like there's so much freedom of expression here in Decentraland, and yeah, it's going to like look so different for each one of us. And I just love that.
Yeah, it's super inspirational just walking around. I remember when I first came here about 1.5 years ago, that was the biggest thing to me was just the fantasy land when you're walking through the build, seeing everybody's expressions of creativity on each parcel. It's hugely inspirational and really gives me hope for the future of Decentraland and of all metaverses.
It's kind of this weird idea where, you know, the ideal metaverse, in my opinion, would be something where all the brandings just get completely messed up and everything is like completely chaotic, but at the same time it makes sense in a way. I think that's like the ultimate bigger picture that we all share.
A little bit like life, but I know we are. Slaterade gave us a hard limit. He said we had to start the judging at the 35-minute mark, which we already didn't do. So we're sorry about that, Slaterade. I think he's just going to be playing these submissions in the background before we hop in to the top 5 submissions. I also see Geo77 Idix. What's
Let's
up?
go, Gio. How's it going?
I guess we'll start on the bottom of the screen this time. Canessa, this is your first time judging a Sandstorm DCL builder competition. What did you think of the submissions and the experience?
Oh, I loved them. I mean, I loved that they all were pretty unique. You know, they had different feels, like just a different vibe. Some of them like really spoke to me, and it's interesting because I'm sure like they spoke to me for different reasons than others. But the detail, like that one that I'm seeing on my screen, I mean, I love seeing the detail, like the skins and the texturing, and then even people that included the animations. So yeah, I just really love that people got the freedom to take this theme and interpret it in their own way.
Yeah, I'm always surprised by the variation of submissions we get. I think it's pretty crazy what people are able to come up with. Tangpoko, what did you think about this round?
This was amazing. I mean, is it just me, or has the skill level really started going up here? I mean, this was just, they knocked it out of the park. Every single one of them was so good. So many different styles. It was really a wonderful time to judge them all. I loved all of them.
I feel like some of these Blender artists that started a month ago have already far surpassed what my Blender skills are, which is just crazy. But yeah, I agree.
Big shout out especially to Erica Bloom. I know she's very active in general, like whether it be on Twitter or in our community. But I think it's a perfect example of somebody that has really been participating in all contests and has really been killing it. Like the submission in this contest was super impressive compared to what she was doing in the first one. So great job.
Absolutely. Mariana, what did you think this time around?
Yeah, I was really impressed this round. I feel like there was no same idea this round. Like I think like when we were doing like the blip in time, there was almost similar type. Not blip in time, I'm sorry. Whatever. There was like other challenges where there were maybe 2 that were maybe kind of similar. But yeah, the textures, the animations got better. Even just like seeing more builds being deployed in Decentraland, like that just like gave me some, warm feelings, I guess. But yeah, really, really great job, everyone. And yeah, to Oscom's point, like seeing, the same people from round 1, like Erica Bloom. I remember, I think she had the backpack, right?
I love that backpack. Yeah. I love the backpack grill.
So right. So like whenever I think of Erica Bloom, I just think of her backpack. So like it's really cool to see like these builders putting like their work behind their name, right? They're really generally creating like a brand at this point of the contest too. So yeah.
I love it, Erica. You're getting a lot of fanfare right now.
Yes, I'm a fangirl. Erica's #1 fan over here, guys.
So keep up that good work. I would be interested. I don't know. I think Erica's still in the chat, but would be interested, Erica, if you want to type in there how long you have been using Blender. But while we wait on that response, Roustan, first time being a judge, what did you think?
Yeah, it was very cool. I mean, like the things I was drawn to most were the builds that made me feel like I was transported to another world, and I almost didn't feel like I was even part of Decentraland. I was seeing the creator's imagination, and they were letting me into their world a little bit. That's really what got my attention. And I was a little overwhelmed at first by the number of submissions, and like, how am I supposed to pick the top few from these, and it was tricky, but I kind of relied on those those transportative feelings.
So for you really want that, because I mean your build is completely enclosed, right? Like when you walk into your building, it's like you've been teleported to it. Might as well be its own metaverse, right? So
well, yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, I've done multiple builds, and my first builds were open. Like I really believed in like walls are unnecessary, but for sort of like transportative feeling, it's good to close off the exterior environments, I think. But it depends what your goal is, you know. And so when I looked at all these pieces, I was trying to think, okay, what is this person's goal? Did they achieve it? And it was cool to see like because of the limitations that we have, like you have to find a solution, you know, to create what you're picturing in your head. And it was cool. As I was going through some of these, I would notice like, oh, that's a good way to tackle that limitation.
Yeah, that's good. And it looks like Erica just said she's only been in Blender for 2 months, which is pretty crazy. They must have the same speedy mindset as you, Roustan, to be able to learn how to tackle problems and new software that quickly. But that's awesome. Does anybody want to hear what Oscom thinks about this, or should we just skip? Or no, I'm just kidding. Oscom, what did you think about this round?
Okay, I get it. Just skip it. It's fine. No, just awesome. I think it was like the most impressive one so far. Very cool to see implementations of more publishing in the builder, and just having more internal views of Decentraland. I think that was the big step here compared to the other ones. And also I think the most ambitious one from a complexity perspective. So very cool. And I'm also very excited to see the next one, which will be number 5, which is, it's a bit of a bigger contest with a bigger prize pool, but also more assets. So that will be very interesting. And you're actually able to use the island you made. Actually, it's in the rules. You need to use this island and create objects on top. So will be very cool.
Yeah, actually, before we get into the final 5, I will plug that contest number 5 is live, and the submission deadline is November 4th. So $10,000 prize pool instead of $5,000 prize pool this time, and 10 winners instead of 5 winners this time. It's a 4-parcel build, so very similar to the Lost Island, but now it's lost but not alone. So you've been lost on this island for so long that you need to develop an inanimate, well, I guess it could be animated, but not a person, out of island material, throw an island party and provide an island snack. So it'll be really interesting to see. And yes, you can use the current build, like your current island build, or if you have some other ideas in mind, feel free to start from scratch. But I think it's, kind of interesting to allow people to carry these assets and see how they develop, from competition to competition.
And more excitingly here, because I know some people are very keen on these, all the builders will have to create an emote in this contest. And the good thing about this is, since we are rewarding the top 10 people in here, and the top 10 people are winning at minimum $250, everyone will be able to actually also mint the emote on the marketplace, which I think is super cool, to also get people introduced with this process for the people that made really cool assets, and just get to experience the first kind of rush of publishing something and putting it on sale somewhere. So I think DCLcurations will go over it in a future stream, but it's really cool to see also that the prize money and everything that we do here. I mean, you might use it for yourself, either for personal reasons, or you might use it and just publish your assets on there, get involved in the ecosystem, get some VP, vote on proposals, and then, start getting in Canessa spaces and insult everybody. Just kidding. But
no. Behave, please.
Just kidding. No, I think that's awesome. It's like full circle and it's cool.
Yeah. So minting fee is $150, I believe, right now. So with a $250 minimum, you can mint, make money, and still pocket $100, or give it away, because that's also fun too. Throw an event, sponsor the curation station, maybe. I don't know. But let's get into the top 5. I know we've got 8 minutes left, and Roustan, I know you've got a meeting that pushes up against this. So Slaterade, if it's cool with you, let's move over to our very first 5th place winner. So in 5th place, who do we have? Erica Gloom. congratulations, Erica. I know you had posted about this build a couple of times in the chat, had really asked for some feedback and continued developing on it. And I think it's really an awesome build. But let's start, Roustan, since I know you've got the hardest time limit. Let's start with you and your thoughts.
Oh yeah, I love the simplicity of this composition. Like you can go crazy and you can go too little, and something about this, it's like a magical dream, like a really pleasant dream, and you can just walk into it, and then the textures, like the marble textures and the gold, like it's just super pleasant. Like it made me feel great.
I agree.
It does feel calming. Mariana.
Yeah, I think honestly, Roustan took the words out of my mouth on that one. Yeah, it just felt like I was walking into like this beautiful dream, and I just felt like when you're like dreaming, like everything around you is white, right? But yeah, super simple. I love the anchor, right? It's like holding on this build down. Great use of materials. I love the gold texture as well. So yeah, great job, Erica.
Tangpoko.
It was beautiful. What more is there to say? I think that walking into a place and having it be that relaxing feeling is really important thing to take into consideration when you're building. Just like in real life, maybe there's like principles of feng shui or something like that that you can start bringing into your 3D builds. Vibes.
Principles of feng shui brought into 3D builds. Okay. I see. That's interesting. I don't know if she was using a feng shui for this particular one, but definitely hit that calming note, I feel, with a lot of the judges. Canessa, what did you think?
Yeah, I think it's amazing. Like, how can you convey happiness just with like color and texture? And she's done it. Like, she's done like, yeah, relaxing, feel good. And I think I want to know the story of like, what happens if it's not anchored down? Like, where does it go? So I think just even adding that one simple detail of having an anchor, I think that just kind of says so much for like, there's much more to be happening here. Like, I want to get on that and take the anchor away and see where I go. So good job storytelling as well.
Absolutely awesome. Oscom, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything. Super cool design, super nice, very nice presentation. This really looks more like an art piece, actually. And I think I really, really appreciate this. I think that's awesome.
Overall, awesome job. And I know the rocks or the crystals in particular, they were trying to figure out a solution to kind of give it that crystal look. And I believe they ended up going with a gradient fade for the texturing. And yeah, I think that came out amazing. So congratulations again, Erica Gloom. I think that's your second or third time placing. So yeah, really congratulations. That's awesome. Slaterade, on to number 4. Who do we have? Yes, by Z Brightlight or Z Academy. I don't think the submission was named, but an awesome submission deployed to Decentraland. I guess starting with Mariana this time. We'll just kind of go down the line. What did you think, Mariana?
Yeah, no, I'll try to keep this short and simple. Yeah, I loved the deployment. It matched the theme of the last island. It's even like more than an island. Like you come to the island and there's like more aspects to it. The water falling was amazing. Yeah, no, just it's pretty simple. But actually, I just realized there's sunflowers. I just realized right now, so I even like it even more. But yeah, this was in my top 5 for sure. Yeah, no, great use of everything. And the sunflowers.
And the sunflowers. Tangpoko, what did you think?
This was so well done. I really liked that it was a game level. I think for me, I would have wanted to see more of a concept, like a real theme there. I didn't understand the different, there wasn't as strong a point of view as I thought there was with some of the others, but really, really well done. It reminded me like of an old Nintendo game. Like I wanted to jump in and play this level.
I was just thinking, what is it, like Mario Party or whatever? You kind of reminds me of that. Totally agree. Canessa, what are your thoughts?
I loved this one. I mean, I don't know if it was like hitting nostalgia of those like red mushrooms against the green background. But like as a gamer and Minecrafter, like this one just spoke to me. I think that it could be a game. I mean, this could be turned into some scene and magnify it by like 100 parcels in Decentraland. And yeah, it spoke to me. I think there's a lot going on, and the colors and textures really, they just say fun and like come and play me. So please make a game out of it.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see some of these turn into gamified experiences, and definitely this one I think has potential. Roustan, what do you think?
Sorry, I was muted. The moment I saw the waterfalls, it hooked me. Like I love water. It's my favorite element. I'm surprised Canessa didn't mention it, because if I had spoken first, I would have said this. Like it made me think of Canessa with her passion for things in the sky, and it's cool to see a build that has nothing on the ground, really. You know, especially since most of us are drawn to getting to the utmost part of a build. You know. But yeah, like I agree with what everybody said. I think what Tangpoko said was excellent, perfect representation of this build.
There needs to be something really shiny and glowing at the utmost portion too. We love getting to the top of things, and we love shiny things. Yeah, congratulations again. This was Z Academy or Z Bright Light, 4th place. So congratulations, and I think we would all love to see you develop this scene a little bit further. So if you ever need help, or if you currently have ideas, keep us in the loop for sure. This would be awesome. But Slaterade, let's go to number 3. Yuri BX with Nightmare Mystic Island. This one, I'll go first here. I really like this one. I know we can't hear the audio when Slaterade is doing the stream, but it's like this spooky, ominous music, and then at the very end, somebody just goes like, "Rawr." And it's when the tree is kind of yelling, and I was like, oh man, I felt like the animations in this scene and the audio, kind of like what Roustan was talking about earlier, like that overall theme, like I felt like this was really an experience, like a Ghost in the Graveyard experience or something, so just great job, Yuri, on this piece. But Oscom, what did you think?
I think it was a really well put together piece. Really fits the theme of like this kind of shadow-like island with a tombstone and the crazy kind of tree here. I mean, it's just a cool piece. Looks great, and cool render as well. I mean, just great job in general. I really liked it.
Yeah, Roustan.
Yeah, this one perfectly encompassed what I was mentioning earlier about transporting you to a different world, and it's something that I would, if I stumbled on this in Decentraland, I'd want to explore it hardcore, especially if I was on the ground and seeing the sparking lightning in the sky. I'd want to get up there and see what it was all about. And it was just, it made me feel something, the scary tree, and like that's special. That's really important to me, I think.
I feel like that got very deep. Roustan has finally felt something. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, totally agree with what you said in that theme and kind of that vibe or feeling that it gives people. But Mariana, what did you think?
Yeah, what I like about it, it's first of all, it's kind of it's good timing with Halloween right around the corner.
That's true.
But I do love how this island is like, it looks like it's like in space maybe, right? Like Roustan said, it takes you to like a different world. But what stuck out to me the most was this animated lighting cloud, and then as well as that moving trunk thing. Yeah, just that animation, or those two animations in itself, and just the video in itself just is what attracted me to it. So yeah, great job.
I believe it's called a tree. I think that is the word you were looking for. Tangpoko.
I love trunk things. Trunk things are so cool.
Yes, giant wood trunk things.
I think this is a great example of do one thing and do it well. He stuck to a really simple point of view. And I mean, it's a very simple build, but it's just so well done. I love the cloud. I love the way the lights go on the ground in a circular motion there. And I think something has to be said too about the teaser video that he made. It's not just the animation, but he made a really great clip of this. It's exactly right. The titles are great. Just the way it transitions from scene to scene as you go through this. What is it? 15 seconds long. I think it's really, really well done.
Yeah, the transitions there, and making that video really adds to, I think, the
He also
viewing for sure.
timed the thunder sound with the transition on the render, which is great. Cool detail. Yeah.
If anybody hasn't watched this one yet, go ahead and watch it. I love the ones with audio. Canessa.
I think, the whole build is beautiful, the texturing, just the detail, but the animation in the tree, movement really speaks to me. And so you're looking at that tree, and it's not just an angry tree, it's a frustrated, hungry tree. Like when he looks to the left, he's like looking quick, and then he gnashes his teeth almost like he doesn't know what to do next. And so the user could have just made like angry eyebrows to convey like the feeling, but they didn't. They made it like I just feel like it's almost like an angry dog in a kennel, like a Rottweiler that's gonna just bite you up. And so they just paid attention to detail in that animation and conveyed like so many different messages. And I would hate to see that tree late at night. I'd be scared.
I could agree with that statement. That would kind of freak me out. I would be wondering what somebody put in my drink if I saw that tree late at night. But again, just great work, Yuri. I believe you've placed 2 or 3 times, 1 or 2 times before, maybe. But awesome build.
Yeah.
Let's. Oh yeah. No, we started with you, Oscom.
I did it. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Going on, a Slaterade number 2. Number 2, we have Rub QBE or Gabs, I believe, and this is the fountain with planets. Roustan, what did you think?
I mean, this is like initially the water again. Like as soon as I saw the water, I was like, wow, nice. And then you see the top of it and the way it like creates this shape, a face shape sort of, and how it pours down. Like I love the design of that. And then the trunk things look really good.
Those trunk things. Yes, gotta have those trunk things.
I agree.
But again, like the earliest one, Erica Bloom's, there's a simplicity in this, and like Tangpoko said with Feng Shui, like it's just really pleasant, and the amount of detail is just strong.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna say it's interesting because like you use the word simplicity, but it's so detailed. It's like when you can make something so honestly complex, but give off the impression of simplicity to the user. That's huge. It's like an iPhone. Like, how do you make it? I don't know, but it's really easy to use. But Mariana, what do you think about those trunks?
Yeah, those trunk things are amazing. But no, I love how there's like, I guess maybe even like 3 elements. There's like this planetary element, there's this tropical element, and then there's this, rocky element.
I have a feeling you don't know what the elements are. I don't think tropical is an element.
Vibes. Can we go with vibes?
You gotta learn the Mariana element table, okay? That's a very
Mariana
special
periodic table of
special.
elements.
Yes, it's also very important if you work with her ever. Then you need to learn all the terminology.
Yes.
Exactly. But yeah, no, in all seriousness, yeah, there's like back to it. The palm trees is like, I mean, like, yeah, the animation of the palm trees, but then also kind of just seeing this in Decentraland as well. Like at first when I saw this, the animation video, I'm like, oh, okay, like how will this actually look in Decentraland? But it looks as real or true to detail as the animation that they made. So I feel like I just want to like go swimming in there right now. Like we need to get this like deployed to Decentraland so we can just have like a swimming party over there.
That's a great transition actually, because that's exactly what we're working on with DCL. DCLcurations, we are working on setting up a GitHub and open sourcing all the files of the contest where people agree. That will be a big endeavor of us, and I think that's where we'll add a lot of value to those builder contests, you know, where we are not only giving back money, 100% of the money to the creators, but we're also providing all the actual builders here, people that do events, with new assets that they can use in their own experiences. And that's great. I think that's the best case of ease of use in Decentraland, just filling out the land with cool stuff.
Yes, and more information on that to come, Oscom, correct? I believe the forum still needs to post it up, and I know there were some questions about where the forum is for Contest 5. But, but
tonight.
Tonight. So the forum for Contest 5 will be up tonight, and you will have the option to make it open sourced and available for anybody to use in Decentraland, which I think would be awesome. And we can all go swimming, which will be really cool. Tangpoko, what did you think?
I love this build. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that this was our first place winner from last week. And I think there are elements from that fountain that you can see on the face. I think it's the same face from last week that you see here on the top. So I think it's really cool that he brought in last week's symbology, if you will, into this week's contest. And I think it speaks to what Mariana was saying earlier about how there's an element of branding that these artists are doing. It's really cool, and I hope to see more of that. This is not just a contest, but these are all portfolio pieces for them. So take it seriously, find your style, and really lean into it.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an important note. Like, what is your style, right? And it's very noticeable. If I ever see this lion face, well, actually, that kind of reminds me of the octopus. Is it Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean? When it's full of water, it kind of reminds me of the tentacle beard. I don't know. Maybe I'm seeing.
I can tell you a little anecdote on that. It's we have in the sandbox contests. What happened is, some people really created their own branding out of this, exactly as you mentioned. And one guy actually created a full Twitter account called Rex Roach, and all his builds were with a roach of some sort. So he always had some form of roach that's, having a backpack or some antennas, or, like the roach house, or a roach playing music, etc. It was just so fun to see him develop this kind of line of character and kind of storyline. It's crazy. So yeah, just giving ideas here. If you want to have a DCL roach, why not?
Oh my gosh, wait, did I miss Peanut Butter? Peanut Butter was in stream. Did he just leave? He says, I think me and Mariana went to the same school. Did you guys go to the same school? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think he means
talking about the elements.
Yeah.
Wait, what school?
School of Elements.
The School of Elements.
Trunk things and Rocky World.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, me and Peter, we were in the back of the classroom. That's what happened.
In the back of the classroom. Oh, love it. What is up, PB? Always great having him in here. Canessa, what did you think? Last words on the second place submission prior to getting to number 1.
Well, I really love this one. A trademark that I try to put in a lot of my art, whether it's builds or just in real life art, is just little things that you can't see and that nobody will ever see, but they're there. And so that face, really, if you're viewing this from Decentraland, unless you have a jetpack, you're probably going to be walking on that nose, and you might not exactly see what the face is. And I really love that, because I think that it says so much about the artist that you're going to put this secret in there and then not tell anybody about it. I mean, you're seeing it from the air here, but it makes me wonder, like, when everybody has jetpacks and flying around, what are we going to see, like, from the air? Like, we would see this and be just totally blown away. Even those planets, they're in a spiral pattern. And so I just think that attention to detail and the color is beautiful. I want to jump in.
I wonder if they made a constellation out of those stars and we just can't see it yet. There still might be secrets we don't know with this piece right here.
I hope so.
But overall, just awesome build. Great to see the symbolism, or I think Tang said some symbolicalism, or I don't know. It was some other word. We're making
awesome
up
music
words
as well on the clip. Can we talk about this? The music was crazy on this one. I really liked it.
I'm just vibing to the Sandstorm background music right now, and so I can't remember what this scene music was, but I do love good audio in a scene.
It was like good, well, very fitting.
So everybody go check this one out too. Check them all out. They're all great, honestly. And last but not least, first place, Slaterade. Who do we have here? Virtual. Congratulations on first place for this submission. There's a whole lot to this. I think Roustan, when I was talking earlier and I was talking about kind of that sanctuary vibe that reminded me of your place, I think this is the one that I was referencing. So what are your thoughts here?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for coves, for beach settings, you know. So like, but I was like, at first I was like, this is really, really awesome. It's a little too simple. And then I saw the door on the ground, you know, that opens up, and then you can go down into the ground. And I inspected how the ocean was made, and I looked at all the really tiny details, and it's just so much. I think it's cool because it's like looking at a piece of jewelry, right? And when you look up close at it, that's when you really start to unravel the amazing things in it, you know. So this, and then speaking about music, you know, the way this was presented, everything about this was just so well done. Like I really transported to this world and wanted to be a part of it.
I forget how this is a fairly long clip, but I think I agree. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a simple island, you know, with a design. And then I was like, what? Mariana, what did you think?
Yeah, it's just mind-blowing to me, to be honest. Everything about I don't even know what to start with this one. Like virtual just blew me away with all aspects. Yeah, even just like transport, like just the animation of transporting down to like this like hidden sanctuary, right? But then I'm like a huge sucker for plants. Like I wish I had these plants in my build. So like I just like love this like nature aspect to it, and even like this material of the, I don't know, the lookout thing. So if there's a word for it, let me know. But yeah, and then back to like the branding, like virtual, he uses his like diamond, you know, texture. I'm not gonna say thing because I'm used to it, but yeah, like he has like this branding to his work, and he can make whatever, but as long as he adds that, you know, texture, you'll know it's his right away.
And I think that's being applied here as well, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
Like on the platforms, it kind of looks like jewelry, almost like wound metal. Very, very cool.
By the way, Virtual, that's one reason why we wanted to get in touch with you. So I don't know if you're watching this right now, but if you're watching, feel free to hit me a DM on Discord or on Twitter. Because, you know, if we want to open source stuff, we want to be sure that, you know, you're not giving away your secrets.
Give me all of the secrets.
The virtual secrets.
I'm gonna hide down here, guys. You guys will never find me. I'll just be down here.
But Tang, what did you think? And I'm noticing now that one of the animals below C has a DCL avatar face, which is awesome.
I think that is Virtual himself.
I didn't see that.
It was a virtual cameo down there. I think that this build speaks the importance of storytelling when you're making something, and that it's not just about how complex your build is. It's a lot about the concept and the ambiance and the vibe and the story. And he did a really good job making me feel like there was mystery and fantasy in all of this. He definitely had my vote as number one, and it's because of the story.
Is that a cup of tea? Now I'm wondering, what does that have to do with this story?
because of the last competition.
Oh my goodness! Oh my gosh! There are still things that haven't clicked for me with this one. Oh my gosh! Yes, that is brilliant. Wow. Okay. Awesome. Canessa, what did you think?
I'm kind of in the same boat as the others. At first I thought, okay, this is beautiful texturing on the plants, you know, but I don't see much else. And then of course I saw the hatch, and I was a hardcore Lost fan. And so as soon as I saw that hatch, it just like triggered some amazing memories. And so like just the idea that you're on this island and you find this hatch and you go down into it, And then it's such a cool way that he made the sea life going around, but like every one of them, it's not just a fish, it's like a fish with a giraffe head. And yeah, that is Virtual swimming around as a squid. So, just as an artist, there's so many ways that, we could have just put a fish in there or like a shark, but to make it kind of this other, really other cool thing, I know Virtual is another person who puts little Easter eggs in his stuff. And so I walked around like trying to find some and I know they're there. So it's awesome to see that.
I love it. Yeah, just great work. Oscom, I think we started with Roustan. Yeah, Oscom, last but not least, thoughts overall on our contest number 4 first place winner.
Yeah, I mean, Virtual, really impressive. Every time he enters, he's rocking the top places. That's really cool. It's so humbling also to see somebody like him to participate in this contest and show off his work and inspire other builders. I think the cool stuff with having those builder contests where you have better creators that are more experienced, that have been building for a long time, and newer ones, is just to get them to share this moment together, whether you are very good or whether you are a beginner. And I'm sure this piece alone will inspire a lot of builders thinking, oh, that's what I can do. I can create these kind of walls that, show these water things, and I can implement that in my future builds in some way. Or I can use this kind of trap and create like this more this concreter scene where you have different rooms and you can go from one to another and just create more interaction in your work. So I just think it's super inspiring, and I'm very thankful for his time and for what he's been doing here. So great job, Virtual. Well deserved.
Yes, congratulations. Congratulations to all of our winners this time around. And next time we will have 10 winners. So that's probably going to be a long judging stream now that I think about it, given we seem to always run over. But I mean, the builds are just too good.
No
right?
conversation next time.
No conversation. Results only. We love results here. But no, I mean, really thanks again for all of these submissions. Every round, I think people are getting better and better. And like Erica mentioned earlier, they've only been in Blender for 2 months, and these competitions are going on for an entire year. So if you're a builder and you're looking at some of these and you're thinking like, oh, there's no way I could place, or there's no way, like, this would be a waste of my time. Well, one, you have to think of the fact that you're essentially getting paid to learn how to build. And then at the end of the day, you also have this asset, which you can then use or give away or let other people use, right? And in the span of 2 months, you could be an all-star builder. So we do have many months ahead to go with our builds. Next build competition does end on November 4th. So make sure to get those submissions in. And Oscom, I know you're going to get that form up and some announcements out. But yeah, Sandstorm, you'll be in touch with all of the winners today or tomorrow, right?
Yeah, today or tomorrow we'll pay out the winners. And I just want to take some time to thank also the judge panel here. Thank you very much for your time, Roustan, of course. Mariana, Tangpoko, Canessa, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here. I hope you enjoyed judging this. And if you have anything to shout out, feel free to go. We can do one small round, just 1-2 sentences, whatever you're working on. Go ahead, Roustan.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, is that an indication on something that's coming?
No, I have Haunted Casa Roustan. It's been up for like a week or two now. So check it out if you haven't seen it.
What are the chords?
37-114.
37-114, the haunted Casa of Roustan. Love it. I'm actually probably going to go check that out myself. Mariana, your final words.
I was gonna say, keep building. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Keep building.
Any shout out, Mariana?
Shout out
Anything
to
you worked on?
the amazing Oscom.
Aww.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm going to be doing like this like IRL Cleveland Web3 conference this Thursday, so I'm excited for that. So,
Cool.
if I can say any advice, maybe when onboarding people to the metaverse, just start small in your own local villages.
Indoctrinate everybody around you, and then you go big.
Exactly.
I'll just say thanks everyone for being here, for offering us your creativity and letting us see the things that you're working on. Thank you, Sandstorm, for having me yet again and for doing these amazing things for the community. I really love what you said earlier about trying to make these open source so that people can put them and start populating the land all over Decentraland. That is going to be a really great value. And in terms of shoutouts, I hope to see you all at the Scorpio party tomorrow night at Dollhouse. Thanks very much again. Have a great day, everyone.
Come on, talk a little bit about your grants. Don't you have like 1 to 2 sentences?
Well, if you can go and take a look at the proposal, we talk about how we just want to do great things with Dollhouse next year. We've done a lot this year. We want to be able to have the funds to do even crazier, more fun stuff for the community next year. Dollhouse is not just for me. It's not just for the baby dolls. It really is for everybody. So take a look, see what you think. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me and talk to me about it. Thanks, Oscom.
Canessa?
And I was going to piggyback there and make sure that Tang didn't have to do any promotion.
Oh.
Just check out the proposal. I think my final words are like Mariana, just keep building. And we got Metaverse Festival coming in. Are we down to like 2 weeks or do we have 3 weeks? So it's coming soon. I think we need to just look for the bright side, the positives that is going to bring, and build and try to make a really cool, welcoming place for all these new users to come, and Ozzy Osbourne too.
Feel free to link me the music festival if you can help with anything at Sandstorm. Let me know.
Yeah, I believe it is I believe it's on the 10th, November 10th, maybe, is what I'm seeing right now. So, if anybody's interested, last year it was a banger in Decentraland, and this year I can only assume that the foundation and the performers are going to one-up themselves for sure. So, huge event in Decentraland, and if anybody is interested in attending that, you can check it out on the events page. And I know if PB is still in here, he was a big part of planning that as well. So very excited, very excited. Oscom, do you have any last words?
Last words. I mean, excited to be at BlenderCon this weekend. Very thankful for the community that we kind of built. And the fact that so many builders also cross-pollinate different metaverses. I'm super excited about this. We've been helping really to onboard sandbox artists in Decentraland and just throw them an alternative, giving them more options, and I think that's the way to go, to just have a really supporting community of creators around the different metaverses where everybody is kind of aware of what other people do and can enjoy the art and the process of creation of these crazy virtual worlds that are really at 1% of their capacities. So thank you very much for your time, every single artist that joins any competition that we host. Thank you very much, DCLcurations, for hosting this. This was great.
Yes, thank you everybody that submitted, everybody that watched, and all of the judges, and our amazing production person, Slaterade. Thank you all, and have a great rest of your day and rest of your week, and I look forward to contest number 5.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a good day.